fantasy, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Hey guys, how's it going? Underground Geek here. This is going to be kind of a different review. I'm going to talk about two different books at once. It's kind of like a comparison of two different storylines going on about the same characters. And two completely different takes on it. But both of them still feel like the characters. One more than the other though. But I really like, first of all, I like the covers on both of them because they're matte. Okay, so when I'm looking at them, the reflection of the light isn't as bad than if it was a shiny one. And I kind of feel like too, it does emphasize the art more. If you look at the detail on this cover here, like even if I get really close, look at the detail on the Megazord and on the Dragon Zord, even in the blurry scenes. And then if you go, I think this is the Thunder Zord, but I'm not completely sure. The Thunder Dragon Zord, but they changed the colors a little bit with the action scene, so it kind of confused me a little bit. So I can't really exactly tell what it is. It may even be the White Tiger Zord, but I can't, I mean, it's just so, I can't tell from this right here. But then you've got this cover here, which is a little bit more of a fun cover. You've got Rita and Godar and all the monsters in there, and then they're like sneaking in. But in case you didn't catch this funny little telltale sign here, they're climbing up the wall, but Trini is on the back of Jason, which should kind of let you know kind of where this is going as far as the story goes. It's a little bit different than what they did in the TV show, which I kind of like it, something different. Now, as we get started here, if I go to the titles page for both of them, it's pretty fun because they do them both the same way. You can just open them up right here and instantly tell like who's working on the books. And Go-Go Power Rangers has a different colored title page every issue. I'm not sure, but I think Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers does too. This is written by Kyle Higgins, illustrated by Jonas Scarf. And this is written by Ryan Parrott and illustrated by Dan Mora. And Dan Mora is amazing. And Ryan Parrott, I read an interview about him. I haven't read an interview about Kyle Higgins, so I can't speak on him. But Ryan Parrott came out and said that he's one of the biggest Power Ranger fans out there. And he really loves writing about them. And that's what I love, is somebody who actually cares about the characters. And you can actually tell from the writing. You know, a lot of people don't do that. If you look at people like Dan Slott, they say they love the character and then it's not in the writing, but this is. So as we get started here, in this book, we're going to talk about how Rita's castle is pretty much in shambles from the fight with the Power Rangers, and she starts slowly kind of putting everything back in place. She makes her seat once again, her throne once again, and you know, she's like, okay, we're getting things started. Then we immediately cut to the Power Rangers fighting this giant sheep creature, which is awesome. The Green Ranger is there as well. And now this is a little bit different dynamic because they have a secret organization like S.H.I.E.L.D. working with the Power Rangers. And the leader of them is the Old Red Ranger, a female. Now, this story is very different because it's a lot darker. It's a lot more violent than the other story. So you see the Power Rangers here. I like how they added the gleam of the color of their suits. I like Kimberly's pose there. That's awesome. They're fighting the creature. He changes forms, releases his full power, and then releases the wool on them to attack them. So the wool's attacking everybody. And we see them jumping into action, trying to fight them. It's pretty funny. And then Billy, I like Billy here because Billy is actually showing his strength, which is his smarts. He understands how the sheep is controlling everything, and actually calls upon his Zord to help counteract what is happening. So I thought that was really cool. He's actually using his intelligence. And then we get to see a Zord, which is cool. So So there he is fighting them. He actually tells the sheep to turn on their master, and they turn on him and attack him and pretty much destroy him. So then we cut to another place here. I guess this looks kind of like Japan, but I'm not sure. May not be. But there's a city there, and they call upon the Power Rangers to help them. But when the Power Rangers get there, they realize that this team has taken military control of the town and quarantined it, which is not what they are about. They're about helping people, not controlling them. And she has a much more military approach. So it clashes with them a lot. And they say, look, we're going to help you, but don't consider this, happening again. And then at that point we see where Finster, is in his prison, and Rita contacts him and tells him to come back. He was pretty much just waiting there. Finster at this point, Finster is not really a villain anymore. He's kind of found out the problems in his ways, but he can't really do anything about Rita just telling him what to do. So then we get to the point here to where they're talking more about the situation. I want to try to plug up my phone. It's trying to die on me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to with the shortness of the cord. Let's see if I can get this in here. Alright, so we've got them talking more about the situation here, and then he meets this scientist, which starts talking to him about, how to help the people. And then she realizes that he's actually very, very smart, and tells him that he should be working there instead of being a Power Ranger. And he understands where he belongs. And then we're back at the city that's quarantined. The Power Rangers are mowing things over. And then the Blue Ranger, Billy, decides to start sneaking around. He wants to find out what this organization is more about. And he comes up to another place here. They have guards there, but then he figures out he can teleport past the door that they're guarding. Okay? So when he goes past the door, then he realizes what they're hiding. And what they're hiding is Lord Draken. And if you don't know who Lord Draken is, that is the evil Green Ranger from a different dimension. Instead of turning good, he stayed evil and combined the Green Ranger with the White Ranger, and pretty much destroyed all of the Power Rangers and took them over. And they had to defeat him, and now he's locked up in their universe. So it's quite a different story than the TV show, but still in keeping with the TV show. It still feels like it. And that is issue 23 for you people that haven't been reading it. So we're actually that far into the series. There's multiple other break-off series. There's like Power Rangers Pink, and then now they're going to do Power Rangers like Lost something. It's going to have like the Zeo Rangers and the SPD Rangers and stuff like that in there. So it's going to be kind of cool. But now we get into the Go-Go Power Rangers. The Go-Go Power Rangers is great because it still has that same maturity level, but has a different drawing style and has more fun. Here we see Rita, and she's getting all of these presents from all of her people. And this is a while back now. This is in the past. Well, she gets to the last family. And if you recognize this family, they look pretty familiar. They actually decide to give up their own child to Rita to save their lives. And when Rita sees this, it actually turns her stomach, which is kind of strange to see. But they draw Rita differently here. They draw her pretty because she's supposed to be a different kind of Rita. She actually takes in the guy and sentences the parents to death. And I can't remember the guy's name, but he grows up to be, you got Finster, and what was the blue guy? I can't remember, but he grows up to be him. I can't remember that one. But anyway, so then we cut back to the story here, and something has happened here. Jason now knows that Trini likes him, but he doesn't know how to handle it, and so he's been avoiding her. And Trini doesn't understand why. Of course, she's a woman, so now she's overthinking it, and she's thinking, well, he doesn't like me. And so then we're also to the point here to where Zach is pretty much very popular with the ladies at this school. All the women like him. And so he's got this secret admirer, and he's trying to figure out who it is. So he's going down through his list of all the women. And it's pretty funny because once he asks Billy, it takes Billy like 5 seconds to figure out who it is. So then he's like, uh-oh, so what do I do now? And so once he's figured out who it is, we also cut to Bulk and Skull here. They've got some kind of cockamamie scheme to make money selling t-shirts. And then we cut to a drive-through night with all the friends. And guess what happens? The monsters show up. Godar and the Putty show up. So the Power Rangers have to jump into action. But somebody is not there. Billy is in an important meeting for a company. And it's the same company that we saw before in the other book, which is kind of funny. They go back and forth between each other. But so the Rangers show up. Now here's something you have to remember about the Power Rangers. As good as the Power Rangers are, they have to be together. They're like interlocking pieces of a puzzle. One Ranger by himself sucks, but all of them together are unstoppable. The only one I could say would kind of hold his own would be the Red Ranger. The rest of them are going to fall. They have to be on a team. He is the strongest one, but he is also nothing without the team. So as they're fighting, it's quickly becoming apparent that they can't, hold their own. But there's another piece to this puzzle. There's this guy here, and I can't remember his name, but he's dating Kimberly. But something has happened to him, and he's actually become a monster now because Rita has done something to him. So here's the thing, though, with that. He can control it. He's slowly starting to turn back personality-wise to the old him. He wants to be good. So he's telling them to stop hurting people, and then they can't really tell, but the Black Ranger almost seems like he saw it. And so then we cut back to the rest of the Rangers. Blue Ranger, Billy finally shows up, but he shows up right in front of Godar and gets captured. That sucks. But then the guy from earlier, I can't remember his name, actually hits Godar with a vehicle and makes them retreat. And so they're all talking things over. And they get mad at Billy because Billy, pretty much left him out to dry and didn't tell him what was going on. And then they're talking it over. Kimberly's getting ticked off because, like before, her boyfriend was in the line of fire and was almost hurt because they were after them. That's what they figured out. They were after him and her and his little sister. And Kimberly does not like that because she can't protect her friends and family. And then at the same time, we have, what is his name? I'm trying to see what his name is here. Rita has captured him again and is interrogating him about everything. They're all talking, getting along together. And that's when the guy from earlier gets a talk with Rita. He's trying to plead his case as to why he helped the Power Rangers. We get a football game here, which is kind of nice, a different thing here. There's Skull, there's Bulk. Now Skull is actually kind of cool in this series because he grew up as a friend with Billy, and you kind of get to see his good side a little bit more. Zach is telling Trini about what he saw with the boyfriend of Kimberly and how weird he was acting. And then there's some more stuff going on with Bulk and Skull. They get a date to prom. And this is when it gets weird because Kimberly is talking to her boyfriend and she tries to kiss him and he actually leaves, which, is kind of strange because they were pretty hot and heavy up till now. And that's when Billy is talking to Kimberly and he actually tells her that he's thinking about quitting and he wants Matt, the boyfriend, that's what his name is, Matt. He wants Matt to be the new Blue Ranger. which is incredibly crazy because that is also technically the bad guy. And then Billy's thinking about quitting the team, which is insane. So that's just crazy to me. But I love the dynamic of everything. I love how you've got the dynamic of the team and all the stuff that's happening in school and all these different storylines going on, but they're able to tell them you're not confused. And then you've got the dynamic of Jason and Trini together instead of Jason and Kimberly. The Green Ranger's not around yet. You've got this other guy that's pretty much the Green Ranger at this point named Matt. And then you've got Zach as a really super cool character in the group now. And you've got Billy, which is not really a wimp. He's just super smart. And so I like that. I like how they did this. So which book do you think did better, guys? Do you think this one did with the hardcore kind of more edginess? Or do you think this one did better with more of the fun-having kind of high school drama mixed in with Power Rangers story there? But let me know what you guys think. This was just a versus video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell me in the comments which one you pick, Mighty Morphin or Go-Go. And then at the end, I will count them all up and put them on Twitter as to who won. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Underground Geek out.